Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain for You. Today's topic is 3 ways to respond to pain or symptoms. So, we're going to get into that in a minute. Take a couple of nice deep breaths. Breathe in the clarity. Exhale the uncertainty. Breathe in the bravery. Exhale the fear. This one's for you. Breathe in whatever you want. Positive. Exhale anything negative. So, in my estimation, there's probably 1,000 ways that we can respond to pain. But here's the most typical that I see coming across in comments or just conversations, and 3 obvious ways. As we know, pain is designed to get our attention, right? It's supposed to get us to go, ow, and take notice. It's designed to protect us from doing something or continuing to do something that the brain perceives as dangerous. So the typical response is, ow, and then we quickly become alert and say, what the heck just happened, right? So as it relates to this mind-body type of pain, this chronic pain, that's the point of this video. I am not suggesting there's multiple ways of responding to touching a hot stove. There's one way to respond to that. Ouch! And you yank your hand off. I'm talking about long-term chronic pain. And whether it be the slow grind of the chronic pain that's fairly consistent, or a major spike and flare-up, in my estimation, there's 3 core ways that people can respond to their pain. And generally, the response tends to be in alignment with the severity of the pain or any change in the pain. So, first response is to freak out, right? Completely catastrophize. Oh my God, this is so bad. What did I do? I must have moved. You go down this worry path of what triggered this? What caused this? I have to figure this out so I can avoid that again. Oh no. Oh my God. I can't believe this. This is never going to go away. And just freak out, freak out, freak out. Panic, desperation. And that is a very common response. And I will say that's fairly in line with nature's designed purpose of pain, which is take notice, right? Pay attention. There's something bad happening here. But I will tell you, as it relates to chronic pain, learned pain, neuroplastic pain, freaking out never helped anybody get better, right? Nobody ever got better by freaking out. I say that all the time, but it's very, very true. Because when you freak out, you're absolutely, the stress response goes through the roof. With that, adrenaline, cortisol, the stress hormones go through the roof. What does that do to the nervous system? Actually amplifies things. And everything becomes more hyper alert, more hypersensitive. Because when you're freaking out, the brain perceives you're in danger. And the heart beats quicker. The breathing, increases. Eyes dilate. Right? All these things happen in the stress response. So by freaking out, you are amplifying your nervous system. So again, just for that purpose alone, that will not help you feel better. So the opposite side of the spectrum is what I recommend all the time. The attitude of, whatever, no big deal. The attitude of indifference. And if you're sitting there going, Dan, but you don't understand. When it's really bad, it's impossible to be indifferent. I get it. Been there. Done that. And that's the biggest pushback I get to all the things that I suggest, is that indifference is impossible. If not all the time, sometimes. I've had people literally say to me, how can you be indifferent to pain that's uncomfortable? How do you do that? Well, it's like anything. If we realize that freaking out's not good for us and just makes things worse because you're you're basically confirming for the brain that the pain is dangerous. And the brain is always going to be on alert for anything that remotely feels like pain. And so freaking out won't help us. So if you know that, and you know that's not good for you, and it's not going to make you feel better, we've got a choice to make. We can step away from that. Indifference, to me, is the gold standard. It's the ideal. Because when you say, okay, whatever, I hurt today, or wow, the pain's really bad right now. Okay, whatever, so what? Sending a very specific message to the brain that goes, calm down, you're not in danger. It's not a big deal. Because if you were in danger, you wouldn't be calm. You wouldn't be whatever about it, right? And so that's the ideal. So that's the second way that people respond to pain. And it's not very intuitive because it's kind of counter to nature. Nature's designed to, ouch, take action. Freakout's the kind of normal response, but now that you know what TMS is and you've done the assessments and you've figured out that, yeah, this mind-body stuff is exactly what's causing my pain, we can kind of step out of the freakout zone and start moving towards indifference. And look, if you can't be indifferent, if you can't, let's say you're racked with pain, you're laying on the floor, oh my God, this is awful. And you're literally cringing and you're floored. I get that the ability to go, whatever, doesn't matter, no big deal. I get that that can be really challenging. It can seem very much out of reach. So, as long as you're not freaking out, there's a bunch of options in the middle. That's where I always suggest we choose our response. And that's the next best thing to indifference. Because how you respond to your pain or your symptoms either sends a message of freak out, oh my God, danger, or indifference, which is, it's not a big deal, you're safe, or the middle ground is reassurance. Okay, pain's going to get your attention. And look, I want to say this very, very, very clearly, because no matter how many times I say it, I still get people who say, and repeating comments and make recommendations to others and go, Dan tells me to ignore my pain. No, 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 no. I never, ever say ignore your pain. And that's because it's impossible. It's not possible to ignore your pain. Ignore your pain is like act like it doesn't exist. That's not what I'm telling you. I'm suggesting that if you can notice it in a very neutral, calm, reassuring way, like, not a big deal. I know it's there. It's not pleasant, but I know it's just TMS. I know it's temporary, so I'm not going to freak out about it. That is what I'm suggesting. Not at all suggesting you ignore it, because that sets a standard for you that if you can't ignore your pain, you're never going to get better, which is not true. That's not what I'm saying here. What I am saying is the more often that you can choose your response, a nice, calm, reassuring, it's okay, Dan. It's just TMS. You're going to be fine. It's just temporary. And remind yourself, the more you can choose a calm, reassuring approach, the sooner you're going to feel better, right? The sooner this flare-up of pain is going to settle down. The more safety messages you can tell yourself, both cognitively, thinking-wise, as well as even soothing, like, okay, rub your shoulder. That feels good. That feels way better than, this stabbing, burning pain or whatever else, whatever other symptoms you've got. And so you want to parent yourself. You want to talk yourself off the ledge and go, it's okay. You can do this. You ever see a kid fall down? How the parent responds is basically how the kid's going to learn to react, right? So you see a kid fall down, he immediately looks over and looks at the parent, as if to go, am I okay? If the parent goes running over, oh my God, are you okay? What does the kid do? Instantly, starts crying. But if a kid falls down, looks up and looks at the parent goes, You all right? Here, come here. You're all right. No problem. The kid will quickly brush his hands off and get back to playing. I mean, unless, of course, they literally injured themselves. But for the most part, in that type of scenario, the kid's response is, the response from the parent is what will determine the kid's response. Do they freak out? Or do they quickly move on? And what I'm suggesting here is you're both the person with the pain as well as the parent. And the more of you'll be okay, don't worry about it. Brush your hands off, little scratch, we'll clean that up, don't worry about it. The more you can be the parent that's responding calmly and go, don't sweat it. As opposed to, oh my God, you my poor baby, you fell. Your inner child is going to respond like the little kid who just fell on the playground. And so this is an opportunity to parent yourself. Today I was doing a coaching call. And in some cases, you ever see some of those stories online about animal rescues? And you find this, starved dog chained to a fence. It's been chained to the fence its whole life and abused and really neglected. And anybody who goes near it, it growls and it shakes and it's completely in terror. And anytime you go near it, it's yelping and screaming and it's petrified. But then you watch through the story of the people who take it in, adopt it, clean it up, show it love, show it compassion, soothe it, calm it down. The dog doesn't know it's in therapy, right? But eventually, however long it may be, days, weeks, months later, they show those amazing video clips of the dog looking normal, its hair's grown back, it's all cleaned up, and it's playing happily in the backyard, chasing a ball, playing with another pet, whatever it may be. That's what we kind of want to do for ourselves. We take ourselves from this scared, almost, abused person. And sometimes the pain can feel like it's doing that to us because, you do something and it hurts and we can literally get ourselves wound up to the point that we are just overly afraid of everything. Our nervous system is on high alert. Everything seems dangerous. And it's our job as the wise, thinking, intelligent adult to go, it's okay. I got you. Kind of like you're soothing that scared dog. It's okay. Show it love. Show yourself love. Be kind to yourself. Reassure yourself. You're going to be okay. This is temporary. Don't worry about it. I got you. I got you. And so those are the different ways that we have the ability to respond. We can completely freak out, which is on one end of the spectrum, which does nothing but completely confirm the belief that pain equals danger. And I get normally, you smack your hand with a hammer, that pain does mean danger. Stop doing that, you're going to break a bone in your hand. Chronic pain, as it relates to TMS, mind-body syndrome, this stress-induced type of stuff, pain does not really equal danger. It doesn't feel good, but it doesn't mean danger. And so, to that end, we want to respond differently than the ouch, right? So, freaking out doesn't work. Indifference, not always available, but if it is, be like, okay, you've got a track record of 100% of making it through your bad days. You're going to make it through this one too, no matter how bad it's kicking your butt. You're going to be okay. So, instead of freaking out, choose your response. You can choose indifference. It is kind of a choice. You can tell yourself, all right, I'm good. I don't care. Even though your symptoms might be kicking your butt in the moment, you can choose to do that. And I'll tell you what, the more calmly you respond, the more reassuring you are, the faster your brain's going to get the message that you're actually okay, this is not a big deal, it's not dangerous, and it will let those symptoms fade away. So, those are the three ways that I see most people respond to their pain. Freak out, indifference, which is ideal, go for that. And in between is the reassuring yourself. And sometimes you're going to be a lot closer to the freak out depending upon the severity. The key is the severity of your symptoms do not change TMS. TMS, according to Dr. Sarno, can produce some of the most intense pain known in medicine. He actually said TMS can oftentimes produce more pain than most injuries can. And so, severity of pain does not indicate severity of damage. It just means that this whole mind-body process can be a fairly wild ride. Your job is to reassure yourself, step out of the freak-out zone, move towards indifference, remind yourself you're good, that you'll be okay. The more you do that, the faster your brain's going to get the message and let these symptoms or pains fade away. So, hopefully you found that valuable. Love you guys and gals, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.